the rows. Just please don't pass them around or lift them up into the air, or let them stand on your lap to the seats. We're gonna hang out up here until I get my clearance, and we'll be on our way. I would also ask that you respect these animals. Keep in mind they're wild, they're not our house pets, so please don't try to touch, scream, whistle, or make any kind of loud noises at them or around them. You don't want to scare them away. Parents, please keep your little ones from doing this as well. Also, if you have any food on you, go ahead and put that away. This is all for the safety of the animals. Turn those cameras on the sports or an action setting. It is very bumpy and I cannot stop for everything we see. When I do stop, it'll only be for a few seconds at a time. And you never know what you're going to see or where you're going to see it. So try and always have your cameras ready to go. And I promise that I will try my hardest to stop for the more exciting moments. Alrighty, y'all. So as we enter the reserve, we are beginning in the Aturi Forest. It is very thick and dense out here. Animals use their coats to blend in with their surroundings. They use the natural camouflage, so sometimes they're a little hard to find. If you're looking to your right-hand side, to the far left, coming out, oh, he was coming out and then he stopped. There's an okapi back there. He's pretty far. There's a picture of it above your heads. Looks like a cross between a horse and a zebra. The okapi are not related to either of those animals. Their closest and their only known relative is a giraffe. Believe it or not, you can see the resemblance in their face. We're coming around the watering hole, so be on the lookout for a black rhinoceros. That's one of the rare species. Less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world today, and this is due to poaching for their horns. While you're looking for a black rhino, up the hill on your right-hand side, there's some greater kudu. They look like deer. Greater kudu are the second tallest antelope in Africa. Males can stand up to 5 feet tall, but these are females. And we know this because they don't have any horns. They're one of the fewer antelope species like that. See if we can find a black rhino. Don't forget to look for them. Black rhinos, they weigh about 3,000 pounds. They can run up to 35 miles an hour. This truck goes 8. So that gives you something to compare it to. And that's a pretty decent speed for an animal that size. Back to your right. Towards the back of the hill, or way in the back of the hill, those rust-colored animals are bongos. Bongos do tend to be pretty shy. They are so shy, though, that they have earned their nickname, the Ghost of the Forest, because of it. You couldn't tell they were pretty far back there. There's a black rhino. See him walking around? It's pretty normal to see just one. They're solitary animals. They do not like to hang out in groups. They would rather be alone. Hold on, guys, there's a pothole here. Okay, we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to head over to the Safi River on the other side of this hill, and we'll see all we can find out this way. I see lots of ripples out here.
That's the safety line.
Oh, I see an Nile hippopotamus on the left-hand side. 2 of them, along with some pink-backed pelicans. Those are the grayish white birds. The pelicans have a wingspan that can stretch 7 to 9 feet across, though they are one of the smaller of the pelican species. So when a hippo does that, they are not tired. That is a territorial gesture. Hippos are very, very, very aggressive animals. These are the Nile hippopotamus. They can stay submerged up to 8 minutes at a time. Fully grown males weigh in at about 5,500 pounds. With as large as they are, though, they can still run up to a good 20 miles an hour on land. Again, fast for their size. By no means are hippos small. Now, as we approach this bridge, look to your left and down. Yes, those are real. There's a lot of Nile crocodiles.
They are real. Go ahead, go down there and touch me.
Look at these two, they're really close. They weigh in at about 500 pounds. That's about as heavy as a fully grown male lion. They are very, very powerful animals. Their jaws exert a force of 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. So they can be pretty intimidating if they start fighting or even just moving. They have had their moments. Take a look at this giant tree on your right. Looks a little different from the rest. This is a baobab tree. You can call it an upside down tree, whichever floats your boat. I call it both. Looks like it's upside down, however it is not. It just has no leaves on it, and it can remain leafless up to 9 months out of the year. Now this is the Serengeti grasslands. It stretches for hundreds of miles across East Africa. Superhighway for millions of migrating animals each and every year. Home to some of the most popular ones, like everybody's favorite out here, the giraffes. There's even elephants and lions. This is the wild Africa we're trying very, very desperately to save, and I'm pretty sure you can see why. I see more giraffes in the distance, so I'm not going to stop for her. She's too far back there. I'm going to talk about these white-bearded wildebeest on the right-hand side. The gray animals, black faces from the Lion King. Also known as the gnu. This is spelled G-N-U. It comes from a low grunting noise that they make that sounds kind of like a cow. Just a little bit lower, if you know what I mean. Now, wildebeest is Afrikaans for wild beast. Somebody looked at them one day and thought that they were just absolutely terrifying. Literally, that is how they got their name, so it didn't take too much thought. You can tell they're really not that scary, though. I see some African wild dogs. You have to look hard and you have to look fast. They're on your left to the far right of the other side of this cave. They're black, orange, and white. Now, these guys are not related to dogs or hyenas. They are their own species, which is the canid. They only have 4 toes. They're one of the more successful predators in Africa. They have a success rate of about 90%. They have absolutely amazing stamina, and they're capable of hunting their prey until it just drops from exhaustion. Also on your left, past the termite mound, you're going to see some cinnamon-colored animals. Those are the sago antelope. I wish they were closer. They're so beautiful. They are the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and while they are very beautiful, they are very, very aggressive. If you are not disabled, they won't really care for you. They're kind of territorial. They don't like to let anybody else get very close to them. Oh, these wildebeest are everywhere. Yes, these are termite mounds. These orange things coming up out of the earth, not anthills. Termites live in them. They build them. They use saliva, dirt, dung, whatever is gross you can think of. They can become as hard as concrete when they sit in the sun. Elephants use them as scratching posts and it'll wear them down. And then smaller animals like meerkats will use them as lookouts for possible predators. So everybody's favorite animal is a giraffe. Giraffes in general are about 6 feet tall when they are born, so they are pretty big babies. They can grow to be 20 feet, making them the tallest land animal. Fully grown, they can weigh in at about 2,500 pounds. They have the highest blood pressure of any animal. It takes a lot for their heart to pump blood all the way up to their brain. They have massive hearts. They're about the size of a basketball. If you look at the light tan antelope, she's laying past this little giraffe laying down, and she's just to the left of the giraffe that's eating from the bushes. That's a Patterson Zealand. There's another one up here. Largest antelope in Africa. Fully grown males can stand 6 feet tall at their shoulders, and they can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. Those are females, so they're not quite that large. And we got some of my favorites on our right-hand side. We have the Ankole cattle. That goes massive horns. Love them. Think they're so cool. Their horns can grow 5 feet across. They're not solid. If they were, they wouldn't even be able to pick up their heads. The horns are hollow. They're filled with the honeycomb-like structure. It circulates blood through them and it just helps pull them off. We are coming into Monkey Point and my all-time personal favorite, elephant country. Normally a troop of mandrills lives on the other side of the rocks on your left. Keep an eye out for them. Mandrills are the largest monkeys in Africa. They weigh in at a whopping 100 pounds, so they are pretty small. They have blue and red faces. The alpha male in a troop will have the most vibrant face and backside. He will also be the largest. Oh, look at this little guy on your right. Aww. So elephants do have very sensitive hearing, so just don't hoot and holler around him. He's not a baby. He's almost 9. We are going to go to the red clay pits, hoping we can find more elephants. But just in case we don't see any, we're going to get a picture of him. I do see one mandrill. She is on the bottom level of the rocks. Her back is to us. Now, mandrills and baboons, they are not the same animal. They're not. So the African elephants are the largest land animals. They can stand 14 feet tall. They can weigh in at almost 14,000 pounds. They are hunted for the ivory tusks that they have. One way we can help them is by recycling old electronic devices like cell phones and laptops. Where they live is where they mine for the mineral that goes into those devices. That mineral is coltan. And scientists today are studying the sounds, noises, and communication between them to see what it means, what we can do to help them out. Elephants are very smart, but sometimes they can be a little underestimated. Are just around this turn. Believe it or not, elephants eat red clay. It is full of nutrients for them. If you look on the ground, you'll see footprints, and on the sides are tusk prints. Oh, I see the matriarch. You see her way back there? She's my favorite. Now she's the leader. Now they do have a matriarchal system, which means females are in charge. So after about 13 to 15 years of age, males will break off from their herds. They will form loose bachelor groups. Once they hit about 20 years, they'll break off from those bachelor groups and go solo. Oh, there's another one next to her. Who are you? Now this one right here, she's about 8. And you can see they're moving their ears back and forth. You kind of put 2 and 2 together. It's hot. They do that. That helps cool them off. That alone can reduce their body temperature by 10 degrees. They will also throw dirt, mud, and water on themselves. Now, their skin is very thick, but it is sensitive, and all that acts as a natural sunblock. And those wrinkles on their skin will actually help hold that dirt and mud in place so it doesn't fall off. Everybody's hiding. Oh, there's a lot of them if you turn away around to your left. I see the baby. She's almost 14 months. You might be able to see her as we pull around this way. No, she's too far down there. Greater flamingos on the left. They are the lightest of the flamingo species. When they're born, they're gray. They will remain this way for about a year or so, and then they'll turn white. And they get the pink color from the shrimp that they eat, which contains beta carotene. So the pinker they are, then the more shrimp they've eaten. We are coming into white rhino territory, so keep an eye out for them. They may be big, but they can hide very, very well sometimes. So forest, where the blacks are solitary and they live in the forest. Just a much easier target for poachers. But they're also much larger. They weigh about 5,000 pounds. Absolutely massive. There's going to be some coming up on our right-hand side at the top of this hill. We'll just roll past them because there's a bunch of trees in the way. Lots of people think that the white rhinos are like really mean and aggressive. Now they can be, but they're really not. They have very poor eyesight. They can only see about 30, 35 feet in front of them. So sometimes they just get frightened and they act on it, and it just makes them come off that way. We might be able to get a better view of them as we go around this way. Yeah, a little bit. All of these are females up here, so they're not quite 5,000 pounds. I see some cheetahs out here. They're going to be on your left-hand side to the far right. There's one about halfway up the hill. She's right in the sun, and then if you look to the right of her, her sister is laying just in front of the plants. Her sister is much harder to see. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land mammals. They do run up to about 60 miles an hour. Those cats, they have non-retractable claws, and it helps them grip the ground for their speed, but they're sprinters. They can only run for a few seconds or a few hundred yards at a time until they get too tired. They can get overheated, and we know that's not a good thing, so that speed doesn't last long. So speaking of cats, this giant rock formation on the left is a copy. Maybe we'll see some lions. It is a little bit hot, so we may have to look a little harder. So lions are inactive about 18 to 20 hours. We'll talk about the ostriches in a little bit. We're talking about the lions. So the lions are inactive about 18 to 20 hours a day. They will do the majority of their hunting at night. Their vision during the day is about the same as ours, but their night vision is 6 times more powerful. There he is. So it's just a lot easier for them to hunt their larger prey then. Now if you are ever lucky enough to hear one roar, you can hear them up to 5 miles away. It's a pretty cool thing to experience. It's a very powerful thing to experience. You can like feel it in your bones. Please don't whistle at him. And it gives you goosebumps. I do see a warthog and some burros on the left-hand side. So a warthog, same as the cheetahs. He's going to be on your left to the far right, way in the back. The warthogs will make the burrows, which are the holes in the ground, and then they'll back into them. And they do this so that they can show off their tusks and scare off predators. We got the ostriches again. We got some bontabak as well. Bontabak are the little bitty brown and white guys, almost completely extinct in the wild, and this is due to poaching for their coats that have a slight shimmer to them when the sun hits them at like just the perfect angle. Those are ostrich eggs. They weigh about 3 pounds a piece. Takes between 18 and 24 chicken eggs to equal an ostrich egg. Have a seat back there, please. They don't fly, thank goodness, but they can run up to about 40 miles an hour. And we should get a much better view of this warthog. Just past these bushes. Yep, there he is. And if you look below him, you can see another tusk. I see at least one more tusk down there. Alright, y'all, let's see what all we can find out here in the glen. I see some yellow-billed storks on the right-hand side over here. I think the yellow-bills are pretty neat. They are a carnivorous bird, so they eat frogs, fish, snakes, and they've also been known to eat other birds. Pretty much whatever those guys can fit into their mouth, they're gonna eat it. Hold on, y'all, it's like uncomfortably bumpy right here. Now, these are the gates to the reserve, and that does mean this concludes our safari, but we really, really want you guys to come back. No two safaris are ever the same. definitely make sure of that for you. Now, it is all about trying to save and protect the animals. It is not as hard as it sounds. You can do it in your own backyard. It can be as simple as hanging up a hummingbird feeder, planting a butterfly bush, and it can also be as simple as recycling. We do have to share this earth with the animals, and at the end of the day, all that matters is that we can live in peace with them. Drop you off at the nearest warden's post, so just take this time, double check your roads for anything that you might leave. Check through your phones, wallets, keys, magic bands. I don't want you to leave anything, but I really don't want you to leave your valuables. Those are hard to replace. Alright guys, as soon as this truck moves, it'll be our turn. Well guys, I want to say Asante Sana. That does mean thank you, but I don't want to say goodbye. Too sad and final. So I'm going to leave you with the Swahili phrase. This is Kwaherini, and that does mean go well. So Kwaherini, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom or wherever you're traveling.